College is a job that college is a job that buys you college is a job that buys you the time to learn, and if you play it right, gives you the network of a lifetime. Never burden yourself with some debt that you can never pay off. So I'm telling this to all college students before you decide to go to your college, or even if you're at your college right now, you need to evaluate the options and make sure that you're taking on at least debt as possible, especially for the possibility or the optionality that your college provides you, right? Evaluate all options of different colleges. Don't just go because it's a dream school. You know, have a plan. And also, like, if you're just looking at colleges to look at college, also look at trade schools. Look at different things you want to do. If you love picking up a camera, maybe looking at different courses that you can take that will help. But we're going to get into the real things of college and get into the real reason of why, college is really the adversary and it's a platform. So I say this. Since I've gotten to college, I picked up multiple side hustles, including this camera. At probably my first year, I think my first couple of months, if you go to my first video, my pilot, I literally went broke buying this camera as a college student, right? Like, I did this to invest into myself and invest into a side hustle that I could see that reaches a lot of potential that also my college can help me out with, right? The college that I go to, for context, I go to NYU in the city. Now, of course, I know it's a big college. Not everybody has the luxury that the resources that my college provide. I understand that, but it doesn't matter. Always try to invest yourself into multiple things that you can as a college student, right? For example, I'll throw some videos, but during quarantine, I started picking up some clippers. I was not nice at all. It was not good. When I got to college, I started cutting hair a lot. I started cutting my hair. I would cut some other kids' hairs and stuff like that. And I could have turned it into a side business. My first meeting that I went to at the club that I now run and I'm president of is called GQ. At the first club meeting that I went to, everybody's going around the circle and telling them about themselves. And I go, yo, my name is Saadiq. I do this. I also cut hair. So if you're looking for any barbers and stuff like that, come hit me. I'll get you for the low. Right? That's an example of one, generating income, right? Creating another source of income, but also networking out with other people. Because what if say somebody is a content creator, right? And they could market me as a barber. We're both getting money, expanding our network, and it has nothing to do with our degree yet. You see? And these are different ways that we can build up as college students to expand our exposure and also make ourselves more valuable. Right? Everything that I think about is adding a tool to your belt. And as a college student, you get the luxury of time. You got 4 years. And if you got 2 years, then you got 2 years and hopefully you can transfer to something else and you got another 2 years. Right? But this is the time, this is the luxury. Hopefully you're going to a college that kind of takes you out of your environment, or you can live on campus. If not, we're not all I'm friends with a lot of commuters, and that's how it is. But hopefully you can get out of your environment, and doing that, you can build a lot of these building blocks as an adult. Not even just a college student, but as an adult. And some of these side hustles turn into the main hustle, right? You're doing college, right? But college, let's say you're taking 2 classes. Let's say you got 5 courses, right? Which means that you probably have like 2 courses a day, and then you have one on Friday, right? So that means it's probably like 4 hours of your day is taken up by classes, if that, because usually they're like an hour and 15. You have less than 4 hours taken up, in addition to, let's say, 2 hours of homework, depending on how hard it gets, right? You have such open free time as a college student. It's different than high school. You now have all this time, and some people, what they choose to do, and I spoke about this in my last video, they choose to wake up, they go to class, they eat, they go straight to their dorm. Mistake. Go to these clubs, go to these different places, network, figure out what people do outside of college, outside their school. We didn't even get to the degrees yet. We did not get to the nothing yet. If you don't even know what you want to do, it don't matter yet. You need to look at everything else that you might be interested in and look at how this can help you as a student, and then now it can help you as an adult. I don't cut hair for people anymore. I don't really have the time. I try to prioritize my time in a lot of my video stuff and a lot of my job that I'm going to be speaking about later, and doing a lot of different things. but I don't have the time to cut people's hair, but I cut my own hair. Saves me money. College student thinking. Some people prioritize different things in these side hustles in different ways. I prioritize this media stuff super heavy. It low key, in comparison to college, in my mind, a list of priorities, and don't get this twisted because, you know, I'm a media major at NYU, right? Media cultures and communications, right? And I'm on the dean's list. I do very well in school, right? But in terms of priority, I'm not gonna lie, my media stuff is always in the front of my mind. School now becomes second nature, right? I'm here to do well in school, but it becomes second nature to a lot of the businesses or other things that I can see that will uplift it. And although I'm a media major, I'm low-key a business guy, right? I'm a business guy. I have a finance internship, and we're gonna get into that. But main point is that a lot of these side hustles become a main hustle at different times, and it helps you learn about what you want to do, right? Like, even if you don't know exactly what you want to do, and it's expected as a 20-year-old, 21-year-old, 23, and literally until you're up to 25, from 16 to up to 25, it's expected for you not to know what you want to do, right? But you're spending money at this place, meaning if you're gonna spend it wisely. Use the time wisely. And a lot of these side hustles might tell you where you want to be, for real.
Nah, he's telling you for real. Like, if y'all haven't liked or subscribed, but you see the work I'm putting in, look at this. I'm out here on a train editing for y'all. Like and subscribe. Let's get back into the video.
Now into the conversation of unusable degrees. Right? This is what made people's point of contention when it comes to college, is that a lot of people are going to college for psychology, they're going to college for art, they're going to this, they're going to that. Yeah. I know a lot of people with art majors, humanities majors, education majors, and Wall Street. Not really becoming a doctor because pre-med is different courses and stuff like that, but on Wall Street and these different roles and these different bank positions, not even just finance, it's just finance coming first to mind, but they're in a lot of these different roles, right? And your major, although it does matter and coursework does matter, you can position yourself in a way that you can really get anything you want. Now it's gonna be harder when you're at, I guess, less prestigious colleges, right? But less prestigious colleges just means you're gonna have to work hard or pick a degree that's really in the lane that's straight through, right? It's not as I would guess, you just have to position it correctly and start early, right? In my first year, I was dead set on going to the business school. I was in LS, liberal studies, at my school, and I was dead set on going to Stern, which is the business school at my school, right? Or it's the business school at my university, right? So the first year I told everybody, I'm going to Stern. Is there any way that you could tell me about this? Everybody I knew in Stern, which was in my club in GQ, I asked them about it. Yo, could you hook me up with anything? Could you figure something out, right? I pulled up to Stern clubs, right? As a liberal studies student, I pulled up to Stern clubs and I go, oh, yeah, I know I'm not here yet, but I'm just very interested in learning about it, learning finance, learning the coursework, learning different things, and I just sat and listened around. And although a lot of the language was kind of foreign to me, they're talking about DCF models and they're talking about different finance terms and stuff like that. What am I doing at home? I'm learning about the stock market. I'm investing. I'm making my value as a little bit similar to these guys, and if not a little bit more, because I'm having firsthand experience. What I put on my resume. Personal portfolios. I have a TD Ameritrade account, for example, or an E-Trade account, right? And these are brokerage accounts to trade stocks and stuff like that. But this, as a college student, I am doing to position myself there. At these clubs, at these Stern clubs, I met a guy, and he asked me if I wanted to go to a party with him, right? I go to a party with him. We don't really link after that, right? After a couple of months, I think a couple months later, he gonna send me an email. He gonna shoot me a text. Hey, yo, bro, apply for this. Put your name on the list, right? I think it's really just, and not even just name on the list, but apply for this. Shoot it through, and I'll say some good things about you, right? Fast forward, 6 months later, I get this little email. Oh, do this little hire view thing. So it's an interview that's online. I didn't really take it serious, to be honest. I did it in a sweatshirt. And low-key, I got through the second round. Second round, way more important. Phone call, stuff like that. And turns out, I interview, I learn about it, I prepare for it, I do really well, I get through the next, and then I'm in the program. Fast forward now, that was the freshman enhancement program. Fast forward now, I'm a sophomore analyst as a media major. So when they talk about unusable degrees and say different things like that, you just gotta find out a way as a student and as an adult to now position yourself at the same level as other people. And if you can't find a way around it, talk to people that are in it to find a way around it. Let's talk AI, right? They're saying that when it comes to these different degrees, when it comes to these different jobs, that AI is gonna take your job, right? Granted, AI is taking a lot of jobs, right? If you're not looking up, shout out to my podcast, King's Corner. We talk about a little bit about there, it's up there right here. Go click on it after this video. But we talk about AI a lot, and as a college student, you get access to a ridiculous amount of information and education about it. You learn how to skate it in a different ways. People are telling me that in media, my job is gonna get taken, right? If I wanted to pursue media, my job is going to get taken. I tell them cap, right? If you learn about AI, you learn that a lot of AI produces stuff that's already been produced. It can only work off of stuff that's been produced. If you are a mind that's always trying to work against something, or a creative mind that's building against something or creating new ideas, you will always be valuable. It's just gonna make it harder for you to rise to the top. But when you're at the top, there's nothing beating it. It's taking out the middle ground, to be honest. And for a person to get scared at that, to a person that has fear that would totally skate the sight that they see that a lot of people don't see, it tells me that maybe this is not cut out for you, right? Because when they talk to me about AI and stuff like that, I look at it, I go, okay, I'm gonna figure out how AI is gonna edit this video for me. When I make clips of this, it will be AI. Am I scared that AI is gonna be able to write a script better than what I can say right now? It's not living my experience. As a poet, I'm not a poet. As a poet, it's not living your experience. You could find a way to always circumvent AI in different ways, and I wouldn't be scared right now because it has yet to be able to produce the stuff that real humans can produce at the level yet. And as a person working with AI, talking about AI, and knows experts about AI low-key. So it's like, don't be too scared about something and don't let it discourage you. Just know that you might have to work a little bit harder. That's the game. Let's talk network, right? This is the main. I came to college to learn and to network. Two things. I thought I was gonna drop out by junior year, to be honest, kid stuff. But I thought I was gonna drop out by junior year because I already had my network and I'll probably have my stuff popping by then. I obviously don't have my stuff popping by then, but I also love college, which is why I'm making this video. But the network I've created has been ridiculous. I started in my first year. This is not my complete list, right? I started in my first year writing down people for a partnership idea that I was doing, and all these different people are in different fields. For example, right? One of my good friends, Janine, right? She's going to be a dietitian. I don't know many dietitians that you and I come across each day because there's not a lot. But you know where you'll find them? At school. Because they're starting to become them. If you know you're gonna find those black doctors that you want as a black person, you're gonna find them at school because they're training to be in med school. I know a bunch of I know a bunch of students that's going into med school right now. And I have plans with them to give my kids their service. Yeah, to give my kids their service. That's a powerful thing. That's a very powerful thing. If I need people, investors, I'm thinking about a company. I need a board. My board is perfect. My board is perfect. I know everybody. And that's the game. That's the game. You want to build connections that you can ask for mentorship, sponsorship, friendship, relationships. Come on. Come on, what better place are you gonna find it when everybody's grinding just like you? Everybody's working towards something just like you. I low-key might, I'm thinking about doing media and stuff for people, and I'm like, all right, I need to find out how to hold a camera and stuff. All right, you're a poet. Let's do some slam poetry. I can organize an event. I know an event planner. I know a marketer in Stern. I know a poet because she's in the humanities and the arts. Let's combine it, because I'm a managing guy. I'm a business guy. There's this network that college provides you, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not always hard. It's not always easy to go out and find these people, but that's the whole point. Like I said, college is a job that buys you time to learn, and if you play it right, will give you the network of a lifetime. It really will. And you gotta go out and seek that. But you will never, unless you go into a field, you will never find that specific niche of people like you will in college. You won't. You're gonna get new friends, new experiences, a new environment. Most of y'all will be in dorms, so you'll be living not alone, but you'll be living separate from where you were living from before. You become way more of an adult. You become way more independent. I learned how to cook. I learned how to cook before, but I learned how to really cook. I know how to take care of myself. I know safety measures. I know how to navigate in the city. My parents want to come, I can tell them which trains they want to take to get to me, to get to my sister, to get to different places. This is adulting, and college gives you the platform to become an adult. So when everybody kills college like this, it really kind of hurts me, because I'm like, yo, you don't know yet. And it's okay, but you're talking on something that you don't know. And I understand that on the outside, it looks like a lot of people graduating with psychology degrees and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna tell somebody to go straight into psychology and just and pray your hands and stuff like that and hope you get a therapy job, right? But there's different ways to position yourself. You know, the world is now changing. There's AI, there's different things. If you want to become a therapist, low key, like you could include media in any of that. You can do public therapy. That's a stream of income. You could practice on the people that you know. You know how many messed up college students there are? And I'm not saying messed up like mentally. I'm talking messed up emotionally, spiritually. They off the kill because they're doing mad work. You know, they're going through a lot of stuff. They trying to figure out their lives and stuff. Who's better to practice on? Who's better to build your clients? To build your clientele, right? Like, these are the ways that we need to think out the box as new college students, because yes, jobs are getting a little bit more slimmer. You know, a lot of things, it's looking like everything's enclosing on you and you have to pick something instantly. And I understand maybe you don't want to pick something instantly, right? But it's something that you can attach to and provide discipline to, right? Like being a barber, I found out pretty quickly after I spent an hour on a haircut that I probably don't want to become a barber, right? But I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to keep going because what? Because now my fade looks crazy. My beard looks nice because I know how to shave. You know, my taper is nice. And I don't have to pay for that every Sunday because now that I work at a job that I need to keep a haircut, I can do it myself. Adding to the tool belt. Keep adding to your tool belt as a college student. That's the best advice I can give you. Playback said that you give somebody $50,000 and over the next 4 years, they'll do great with it, right? Maybe. And they're saying if you put in the same amount of time that you put into college and you put it into your side business or your business, they will be successful. I say maybe. Most likely bullshit. But it's the same thing I mean with college students. A lot of college students flunk out. A lot of college students waste their money. They do get a degree that they can't really use, and they didn't position themselves to work at the same level and maybe think outside the box to work on something and get that job. Or maybe not get that job or create a job, right? But what college does do is keeping you accountable. At the end of the day, orchestrating some discipline around you. It'd be hard for me to pick up this camera, truly, sometimes. When I'm especially in a rut, or especially when I'm in a mode of like, I feel like I don't have no time. This is the forced discipline that college puts you into. Same thing with school and high school. A lot of kids were not getting up. Now you had to get up. You have to get up because you have to work towards something. It puts you in a place that you have to work towards something. And I understand that not everybody wants that organized structure. I don't want it sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. These hours is hell right now. Right? But at the end of the day, it pushes me and it puts me in a space where I have to be accountable. And now you can learn a lot. When you take yourself out of, this is school. This is school. You learn a lot. I spend most of my day on campus from 9 around to like 8. That's because I do school, and then I do some work, and I do my club stuff, and I do my other club stuff, and then I do work, which like I actually work for my program, I work for my school, and then I'm probably editing something on campus because I'm more productive on campus than I am in my dorm. That's the accountability, that's the discipline, that's the luxury that college provides. It don't negate it, don't downplay it, right? A lot of these people that's talking about college like this is really not using it to the maximum ability that it could be used to. And I understand that I'm in a privileged space, that I go to a really good college that has a lot of good resources, right? At the end of the day, I know friends that's going to college at different places, at different levels and stuff like that, and they all working their ass off, but they're now realizing later in their college span that, yo, I wasn't really using this to the maximum ability. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I did. I live at home, so I go to college, I do my classes. I might be struggling in my classes a little bit, but I go home and I go to work. Are you finding your network that helps you stay there? Are you finding your network that helps and supports you through college? I would not be able to stay in college if it wasn't for GQ. Or at this college if it wasn't for GQ. I would not be able to stay at this college if it wasn't for AAP. These are programs in my college. OP, right? And these are people, these are networks, these are organizations that support me and help me. And one, he said, I realized that experience, right, is much more valuable than the degree. I agree wholeheartedly. You should see my resume. It's nasty. You know where I got a lot of those names? A lot of those heavy hitting names that I can low-key go anywhere now is because of college. That's number one. You're not gonna have the same amount of access that you are if you were not in college. If you want to get access to these big names as well, let's talk about FANG. Like you talk about like big companies. Not no little companies no more. Let's say big companies. You need access to them. The only way you could really get access is through college. Truly. And or you go to the military and they have military programs that siphon people in. It is way harder to enter these companies. It would probably take you 10 years of experience. And if you don't, no, let me not say that. You need to go to college in order to get into these companies. Google, Microsoft, JP Morgan, it don't stop there. It don't stop there. Deloitte, tech companies, bank companies, blue collar jobs. I think it's blue collar. Blue collar jobs that pay very nicely. These jobs, which is access to a lot of people that traditionally go to college, and that's why it's very disheartening because they're telling a lot of people, and most of these people are underserved communities. We tell this to underserved communities. Yet black men, especially, are entering college at a lower rate, applying at a lower rate. A lot of our communities is entering college at a lower rate now, and with affirmative action, what do you expect to start happening? When it's the main source of getting out of poverty for our communities. And we're telling them, nah, it's not worth it. Nah. It's a viable option if you play it correctly, especially if you do it right with your finances. Price it out. Budget it out. Understand where it can provide for you, the opportunity cost. I know I rambled a lot, and it's been a while before I made a video, but I just been seeing a lot of this talk going on, and as a person that I'll put on the table right now, I get paid $36 an hour with overtime, working 12-hour days as a rising junior, right? I get paid that much in a summer as an intern. That's a $75,000 salary as an intern. And I'm a media major, and it's in the finance industry. This is not getting spoken about. This is not getting widespread because it's not meant to reach you. It's not meant to reach you. It's meant to reach everybody else that's already in these companies that have family, that got legacy and mitts that's coming in. They're already shadowing. They're already getting their interns. And it's continuing a cycle. We're breaking that cycle, right? But we gotta stop projecting to these people that you can't do it, that it's too hard, that you're gonna flunk out, that you're gonna do this. You need to find your community, find your network, find your people that support you through this. And if you can get through it, you can really achieve something. And when I mean achieve something, I mean achieve something if you want it. If you want it, right? But I know a lot of people that would trade to be in my position right now. A lot of my friends that love the stock market and stuff like that, but didn't take school that seriously yet, and now it's coming to bite them in the ass. Take your school serious, but take you serious, right? Outside of school, if you thinking about doing that business, do that business. If you can do it while you're at school, do it. Do it, right? Like, do it. The roadmap for the modern college student is do it all. Do it all. With respect, and I'm saying this with respect to how you operate. I live a great life. Like, I go out, I do great things. I was just at a jazz club. I was just at a comedy club. I was doing a bunch of things. I'm not saying destroy yourself in the process. I'm saying work towards what you want. And college can provide the platform for what you want. And low-key can fast-track it if you play it right. Play the game right. It's been Saadiq. If you haven't checked out my other videos, here are some right now. But I love y'all, and I'm out.